The 1974 Philippine 10 Sentimo coin holds significant value in the country's numismatic history. It was minted during a transformative era for the Philippines politically, economically, and culturally. Let's dive into its origin, design, metal composition, and the historical context in which it was produced. The early 1970s, the Philippines was under the rule of President Ferdinand Marcos, who had declared martial law in 1972. This period marked a shift towards centralized power, infrastructural expansion, and authoritarian control. The coinage from this era reflects the government's push for national identity, unity, and economic development. The 197-410 Sentimo belongs to the Bagong Lipunan ABL coin series, launched as part of Marcos' New Society movement. This series was intended to represent a rebirth of the Filipino nation, focused on discipline, reform, and nationalism. The coins featured Filipino heroes and inscriptions in Filipino, moving away from English-dominated earlier series. The obverse of the 1974 10 Sentimo coin proudly features Melchora Aquino, also known as Tandang Sora. She was a revolutionary heroine in the Philippine struggle for independence against Spain. Her legacy represents courage, maternal care for revolutionaries, and national pride. Side includes the coat of arms of the Philippines, as used during the Marcos era, along with the coin's denomination. The coin was minted by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP) and was released for general circulation. It was widely used for small everyday purchases, such as local snacks, bus fares, and street food. 1974 was a critical year in the Philippines. Infrastructure projects were booming under the New Society vision. The Philippines was redefining its cultural and national identity. The coin thus became a symbol not just of currency, but of the ideological shift under Marcos. The transition to using Filipino language on coins, for example, Republica ng Pilipinas, emphasized nationalism. Earlier coins used English extensively, but from 1972 onwards, Filipino words became the norm, aligning with Marcos' push for cultural identity. The coin was primarily used in public markets, sari-sari stores, and jeepney fares. It was a common coin in every Filipino's pocket, reinforcing its presence in everyday life during the 70s. While not extremely rare, the 1974 10 Sentimo holds sentimental and historical value. Uncirculated or proof-like versions may attract collectors, especially those focusing on the martial law era or ng Bagong Lipunan series. Choosing Melchora Aquino for the 10 Sentimo was a deliberate move to honor a revolutionary woman figure, at a time when female heroes were less frequently represented. Her image on a coin was both educational and inspirational. The aluminum 10 Sentimo coins began phasing out in the 1990s as inflation and modernization of coinage made low denominations impractical. By 1995, newer series replaced the old ABL coins. During martial law 1972 to 1981, coins were not just used as money, they were also tools of propaganda. The government sought to promote national heroes, discipline, and the new society. By placing Melchora Aquino on the coin, it subtly aligned her revolutionary legacy with the Marcos regime's vision of reform and control. Ferdinand Marcos had a strong influence over cultural outputs, including coin design. The ABL series was a top-down government initiative, and even small denominations like the 10 Sentimo followed a strict design code that included national symbols, government slogans, and respected historical figures. Coins like the 10 Sentimo served as daily educational tools. Many school children in the 1970s and 1980s learned about Melchora Aquino by seeing her face on money. The coin, being in regular circulation, helped preserve historical memory and promoted patriotism subtly through everyday interaction. Melchora Aquino wasn't just a supporting figure. Known as the mother of the Katipunan, she provided food, shelter, and medical aid to revolutionaries during the Spanish era. She was arrested and exiled to Guam by Spanish authorities, including her image on currency highlighted her maternal sacrifice for the nation. The switch to aluminum for smaller denominations like the 10 Sentimo was a cost-saving measure. During the 1970s oil crisis and global inflation, even the Philippines faced rising costs in coin production. Aluminum was light, cheap, and easy to mint, though it lacked durability. Millions of these coins were minted and circulated widely, especially in urban areas like Manila, Cebu, and Davao. They were commonly used in vending machines, small retail stores, and for local produce. making them an essential part of economic life, compared to earlier 10 Sentimo coins from the 1960s which featured a different design. The 1974 version stood out because of the symbolic association with the martial law ideology. Each year's design subtly reflected the evolving government narratives. Most 1974 10 Sentimo coins were minted without a visible mint mark, as the Banco Central ng Pilipinas did not routinely use mint marks. However, minor varieties and misalignments have been observed by collectors, which may increase a coin's value if found in excellent condition. Interestingly, many Filipinos stored these coins in coin banks, plastic jars, and old drawers. As inflation rose and the coin lost value, it slowly disappeared from transactions but remained in homes, becoming a nostalgic item decades later. The 1970s saw many countries shifting to base metals and more nationalist coin designs. The Philippines mirrored this trend, influenced by the practices of developing nations that were emphasizing independence and internal identity during the Cold War era. The 1990s, the 10 Sentimo coin became obsolete due to inflation. Prices had risen so high that nothing could be bought for 10 centavos. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.